Is that they need to win in the general election as well, in the Red Wall, parts of the South as well. So I think, it was, as I say, it was by no stretch of the imagination.
Turn right onto London Road, A310.
To suggest that they're definitely on course for an overall majority at the next election.
Kevin Schofield, political editor of HuffPost UK there, just giving us an overview of what we saw on Thursday. I now want to turn our attention to what happened with the Green Party specifically, and joining us to discuss that is Councillor Scott Ainsley, who's a Green Party councillor in the London Borough of Lambeth and former London Green MEP. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. What do you credit for this surge in Green votes on Thursday?
In 300 yards, turn left onto Witten Road, B361.
In local areas, already we get a lot of people who are already community champions standing for a party that speaks from the grassroots, that talks human, that probably listens on the doorsteps and delivers. But we don't have the funding that the big political parties have, that kind of machinery. So we
turn left onto Witten Road, B361.
The main thing is that people on the doorsteps, and I helped out in the southeast. I helped in Lewis, I helped in other parts of the southeast.
In a quarter of a mile, at Witten Road roundabout, take the first exit onto Chertsey Road, A316.
During COVID, I think the parties completely destroyed the Conservative Party. People around the country in Britain are decent human beings. They've got a sense of fair play, and so many people made that sacrifice. And I think that the message on the doorstep was, I just don't want to vote for them anymore. I've been taken for granted all of these years, and that's how I'm repaid. No, they can no longer accept that. And of course, what you mentioned earlier is the Trussonomics. That was the far right having a go to see if they could get away with it. And this country, with its sense of fair play, has just gone, enough is enough, no more. But in terms of the Greens doing well and filling that void, they are strong. They deliver for communities. They listen, and when you've got a Green in them,
exit the roundabout onto Chertsey Road.
10 years.
Continue on Chertsey Road for 1.5 miles.
For the first 4 years, but you're holding their feet to the fire. People see you working hard for them, not for the party machine. And we've got a lot of issues around the country. Young people can't afford homes. We've got a policy of the right home, the right price, and that speaks in rural communities. Building homes, 100,000 council homes, proper affordable council homes at the right price, and these things resonate with Britain's sense of fair play, I think.
And aside from those policies which you just mentioned, the thing that your party is best known for is its stance on environmental issues. And I wonder whether you think that a greater awareness of that over the past few years might have contributed. And also what the government's stance is on net zero and fracking in particular, I'm interested in, because I was researching before I came on air today, and I couldn't find anything conclusive which shows that the government are prepared to stick to its pledges of 2019. So do you think that might have played a part in your growing popularity?
I think before Brexit became an issue, the movements of Fridays for Future and Extinction Rebellion really raised the environmental crisis to the top of it. It was in the top 3 of people's concerns for the first time, several years ago. I think that's stayed consistent. I think people are obviously it's being reserved with the cost of living crisis. However, what people are beginning to realise on the doorstep is that they're all included. Because of Brexit, perhaps you could say that Putin was emboldened with Britain out of the EU to make a further movement into Ukrainian territory. That was Britain coming out of the EU was a massive step. But I think in terms of environmental issues, there was a green wave.
In a quarter of a mile, at Hospital Bridge roundabout, take the second exit onto Great Chertsey Road, A316.
The Greens, they are future forward-looking. They know that they can defeat the cost of living crisis by tackling the climate crisis, and they can be creating a better world and a fairer world at the same time. And as for the Conservatives, I think you know, sure, a lot of things have been going in the right direction with more wind and more solar energy, but we could be going much further, faster, and a lot of our emissions has been exported. So you know, China's doing all of our manufacturing that we used to do back in the day. You know, so we've exported a lot of our emissions. So in terms of getting to net zero, there are things.
Exit the roundabout onto Great Chertsey Road. In half a mile, take the A312 exit towards Heathrow Airport, Hounslow.
And to invest in the future that would have given people warmer, safer, comfortable homes, and we could have been insulated in our homes, but also insulated from these massive gas hikes that people are seeing in their fuel bills that are meaning that people are going to choose between heating and eating. That shouldn't be happening. And you know, Cameron came along in 2016 and said, let's get rid of the green crap. That's really, I think the Conservative Party is too compromised. I mean, I've said in the council chamber that it's a political party masquerading. I mean, it's a fossil fuel lobby group masquerading as a political party.
Take the A312 exit.
Alone in that point of view. And unfortunately, I'm very late for the break, so I'm going to have to leave it there. But thank you so much, Councillor Scott Ainsley, their Green Party councillor, the London.
In 300 yards, at Apex Corner, take the 4th exit onto Hampton Road West, A312.
Responsible in this decline in support for the Tory party that we saw in Thursday's local elections. 03456060973 is the number to call. You're listening to Natasha Devon, and the time is 7:17.
This is LBC. Nothing's more British than a cuppa and a biscuit. Taking a 15-minute break to reset, recharge and feel better. But the perfect break, perfect biscuit. And let's be honest, as the original and the best, Onion McVitie's
Exit the roundabout onto Hampton Road West. Continue on A312 for 2 miles.
for a chance to win a truly original biscuit break.
Sell your car the motorway way, where dealers compete to give you their best price.
Compete like a sing-off.
Start bidding.
£30,500. 14,000 pounds. No way.
Yes, way. Motorway, the way to sell your car. T's and C's apply. Welcome to Abel & Co, where inconvenience is a good thing. We deliver to your area.
course, Keir Starmer is trying to occupy the centre ground at the moment in his approach and to kind of mop up disillusioned Tory voters. But that's left something of a vacuum on the left, which the Green Party have potentially benefited from.
No, absolutely. And I think, look, I used to be part of the Labour left. I felt very disenchanted and I've campaigned for the Green Party. And I think if I look at the people in the Green Party, a lot of them are ex-Labour and a lot of them are actually young people with a lot of enthusiasm about green issues, but also about social justice and better pays for nurses. And I think the night has been obviously disastrous for the Tories, right? Because they have lost so many. But I think for Labour as well, they went into the elections with a 30% lead over the Tories, and they've ended up with what estimates are now between 7 and 9%.
Yeah.
So I think Starmer should not be resting on his laurels. He needs to look at where has his support gone and how does he win the election? Because frankly, the country needs a change, and we cannot afford another 5 years of Tories. But at the same time, we don't want a Tory-light government which has another 5 years of austerity and is this Tories all but in name.
Hassan, thank you so much for your call and for that perspective. I think it's a really valuable one that I hadn't considered. And I don't think Keir Starmer can afford to be complacent if what he is aiming for is this big persuasive majority. Although a couple of people have already tweeted to say that a Lib Lab coalition wouldn't be the worst outcome as far as they're concerned, that they would be happy to see a coalition government come 2024. But all of the parties are staunchly sticking by this line that they would not be prepared to go into coalition. So I guess until they say otherwise, we have to conduct our analysis on that basis. Simon has called from Southampton. What can you tell us?
Hello, Natasha.
Hi.
So, I've had an issue since the general election when Brexit was the issue, that this country has been running on an illusion of that we are a toxic, nasty, horrible right-wing place. And what we've learned from the local election is that I was right in the fact that we're not. So what we've learned is that there is no appetite for culture wars. There is no appetite for
In 300 yards, slide right onto Causeway, A312.
being just generally horrible to people, and we know that because of the hundreds of candidates that Reform UK Club only
Take the next right onto Causeway, A312.
And I now feel confident come the next general election, and I'm praying that Sunak doubles down, because I just would love for them to be scratching their heads after the next election, genuinely wondering what the hell happened, and realising that they've been going after the wrong horse all this time. They wasted all that time in power going after the wrong horse, and
Continue on Causeway for 3/4 of a mile.
much more confident about the soul of my country. And, you know, if at the next election, parties like Reform and Tories do get re-elected on their policies, I can accept it because, hey, that's what the people want, and so that's what we are now. I won't like it, but, you know, hey-ho, it's all's fair enough, war and all that. But it's this illusion, it's make-believe land of this is what we are, which I don't believe. And the local elections prove that for me. It's wonderful.
I hope you're right, Simon. I really do. And thank you for sharing your perspective. I was going to ask about the culture wars, actually, because I actually wrote a piece for LBC Views, which you can read on lbc.co.uk, where I said, really, refugees and trans people is all the Tories have left. They've failed by every other measurable standard, because, of course, the refugee situation will be...
In 1/4 of a mile, sharp left onto Great Southwest Road, A30.